We already know some social and ethical issues, challenges, implications of ICT in teaching and learning. In this video, I will be discussing about the different issues, challenges, opportunities to learn and protect data and information, including our privacy in the teaching and learning environment. At the end of this lesson, I want you to identify some ways to protect data and privacy, especially in the online distance teaching.
The World Economic Forum reported in 2017 the Global Risk Report. There are four technological risks presented in the report. The first one is adverse consequences of technological advances. This refers to intended or unintended adverse consequences of technological advances such as artificial intelligence, geoengineering, and synthetic biology causing man, human, environmental, and economic damage. The second technological risk is breakdown of critical information infrastructure and networks. It refers to cyber dependency that increases vulnerability to an outage of critical information infrastructure such as internet, satellites, and networks, causing widespread disruption. The third risk presented in the report is the large-scale cyber attacks, or malware using large economic damages, geopolitical tensions, or widespread loss of trust in the internet. And the last but not the least technological risk in the report is the massive incident of data fraud or theft, wrongful exploitation of private or official data that takes place on an unprecedented scale. There are many risks on the World Wide Web. According to Sarah, anything we do in cyberspace is recorded, at least briefly, and linked to a computer or phone and possibly our name. If information is on a public website, people other than those for whom it was intended will find it. It is available to everyone. Once information goes on the internet or into a database, it seems to last forever. People and automated software quickly make and distribute copies. It is almost impossible to remove, release information from circulation. In this online distance teaching, there are many risks and there are many issues that affected students, parents, and teachers. Let me present to you the do's and don'ts according to the National Privacy Commission for students, parents, and teachers. Let us start first with students. First, do. You have to create strong passwords when signing up on e-learning platforms. Passwords should be at least 12 characters containing upper and lowercase letters, numbers, and if possible, symbols. Staying alert during online classes, especially when sharing videos, photos, and files. Using customized backgrounds to avoid accidental disclosure of personal information. Installing and regularly updating an antivirus program. Muting the microphone and turning off the camera by default, especially when not speaking or reciting. Subject to applicable school guidelines on keeping cameras open for the proper conduct of synchronous online classes where necessary and reasonable and always with due consideration of privacy principles. Turning off the microphone and camera when leaving one station or say bathroom breaks. These are the tips and guidelines from the National Privacy Commission for students for them to be safe online. Please relay to your students that they have to create a strong password, they have to stay alert during online classes, that they have to use customized background, that they have to install and regularly update their antivirus program, and the muting of microphone and turning off the camera must be stipulated in the guideline. Let us proceed to the don'ts for students. Connecting phones, laptops, and other gadgets to free or public Wi-Fi networks. In unavoidable circumstances, ensure that the public network has a password and is not accessible to everyone. Second, sharing submission for unlimited time. When the content no longer needs to be shared, delete it. Sending assignments, projects, and other requirements to teachers via social media. It is also a no-no to take screenshots of the video feed of teachers and classmates, spamming the chat, giving out online links and their passwords to people who should not be in the class. Please relay to your students the different don'ts for them according to the National Privacy Commission. And these are that they should not connect phones, laptops to public Wi-Fi, that they should not share submissions for an unlimited time. They should not send assignments via social media. They should not take screenshots. They should not spam the chat. And they should not give out online links and their passwords to people who should not be in the class. What about for parents and legal guardians? Helping the child or ward check and customize privacy settings of the device or application for online learning. Second goal, teaching them basic online security, for example, enabling two-factor authentication and avoiding sharing homework, passwords, and other personal information even with friends. Taking a moment to examine the school's privacy and policy. Parents are also advised to ensure that they consent is obtained for the recording of classes. Consider being present during these sessions, especially if the student is a minor. On the other hand, parents or legal guardians are advised not to leave the child, especially minors, unsupervised before he or she is briefed on the do's and don'ts during the conduct of online learning. Let us proceed the do's and don'ts for teachers. Please be reminded that teachers must always consider the privacy, equity, and peculiarity among students when conducting online classes. Teachers must be able to, number one, make webcam use optional in online classes whenever possible. Recording online classes as long as it has legitimate uses. For example, review the lecture presentations and viewing by students who are unable to attend. Consider the principles of legitimate interest and proportionality during online proctoring, in which a student's test duration is monitored using a webcam, microphone, or accessing the student screen. Weigh the interest of the student against those of the educational institutions to determine the appropriate balance. Teachers should obtain the explicit consent of the student or parental or legal guardian for minors before the conduct of online proctoring. What about the don'ts for teachers? According to the National Privacy Commission, posting announcements that involve personal data is not allowed, such as grades and results of assignments. For example, exam results should be given on an individual basis and not released in mass. Allowing students to submit projects and assignments via social media and platforms. Teachers should not store personal data collected as part of the class in a personal account or device. Teachers should remove students from the class or forcing them to turn their cameras on. Let us all be reminded that these do's and don'ts for students, for parents or legal guardians, and for teachers, according to the National Privacy Commission, will always be balanced and be equated in the institutional policy of the organization. Let me share with you the 10 internet safety tips for teachers. Number one, don't allow possible problems stop you from making the most of technology. Be aware of your employer's internet use guidelines or policies. Develop and publicize internet use policies for your staff, for your students, and even for families. Discuss internet safety with your students regularly and authentically. Be a digital citizenship role model, including in areas such as research, etiquette, and copyright. Take time to find out how students are using the internet outside the class. Encourage students and parents to talk to you if there is a concern about internet safety. Use sensible email addresses and usernames. Use privacy settings and strong passwords. Don't put anything online you would not want your colleagues, family, and friends to see now or tomorrow or in the future. Carefully consider if you want to connect with students or parents via or on social media. We cannot directly protect information about ourselves. We depend on the business and organizations that manage it to protect it from thieves, accidental collection, leaks, and the like.